says, Shaitan and his entire army, they see you in a way where you cannot see them. This means that we are always on the radar of the Shaitan. He knows us. He knows what our weaknesses are. He knows what we are ignorant about. He knows the sins. He decorates them and he makes them tempting for mankind. This is him. He studies mankind. How am I going to reel him into the sin? Shaitan, the first thing on his agenda, how am I going to make the believer a disbeliever? If he can't get you from there, how am I going to get him to fall into innovations? If he can't, how am I going to bring him to a major sin? If he can't, how am I going to get him into a minor sin and remain persistent upon it? If I can't, how am I going to get him to engage in al-makruhat, the disliked matters? If he can't, how can I keep him away from al-mustahabbat, recommended matters? If he can't, and you have two options of good, and one is more rewarding than the other, he'll try to make you do the one that is less rewarding than another option you had. My brothers and sisters in Islam, how do we defeat him? How do we get rid of him? Al-ulama rahimahumullah had something beautiful. He said, you better all know that if he can see you and you cannot see him, then know that Allah can see him and he cannot see Allah. So seek Allah's help against him. How? Bil-isti'adha, by saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. By reciting, قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق, especially قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Read it 3 times in the morning, and read it 3 times in the evening, and read it 3 times before you sleep, and read it once after every salat. Look how many times we're reading Surah An-Nas in one day. This is Allah's love for the believers. He wants them to be protected from a shaitan. And you will never be protected unless you seek protection from Allah Azza wa Jal. This is the idea. This is the importance. Who read Surah An-Nas today 3 times in the morning? Who reads it once after every salat, and 3 in the afternoon, and 3 before you sleep? If not, Bismillah. Start. You'll find the huge effect it will have in your life. You'll find that the shaitan's waswas would begin to get smaller and smaller and smaller in your life.